Jesus Christian. Aloha, Mother Fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast. Here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, audio, video, all over this big blue thing we call planet Earth. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you. As always, how was your week?
You said planet Earth like it's a sponsor. Like it's like, hey, we're
Sponsored by
rotating around.
Planet
Sponsored
Earth.
by Jack Hanna. I actually watched him the other day.
I was going to say Anthony Bourdain, but he's dead.
He is not dead yet, but however, he does.
Pretty sure Anthony Bourdain is dead.
Oh no, yeah, he's dead. I thought you were talking about Jack Hanna.
No, I don't give a fuck about Jack Hanna.
Jack Hanna is an Ohio legend.
Where's he from?
Columbus.
Who gives a fuck?
You care about your children's programming. You of all people should know the importance of children's programming and the return of school this week.
My son goes back to school next week. Eat a dick.
Well, that's the end of our educational content for the week. Da, 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 da. Woo!
Sorry, I felt like being controversial right away. I figured at this point, why wait? Just dive right in.
No, why not? No, my week was great. It was great. Actually, last Saturday, Rebecca and I, we went to Cedar Point.
Yeah.
I found something interesting, though, at Cedar Point, which I'll share with you after we do our BA Sweeties Moment of the Week.
You found out at age 32 you still can't ride all the rides because you're too short?
Even better, I am at the perfect height to ride the big rides, but also the family rides. There is no height limit for me.
You're just tall enough.
Just enough.
The workers stop and they go, all right, come on.
You go back there. You stay away from Camp Snoopy. Stay away.
You're in.
You're in. Iron Dragon, come on.
Hey, listen. I rode the Iron Dragon 8 times when I went to Cedar Point when I graduated high school because I'm terrified of roller coasters. I think I told you that story. So we rode the Iron Dragon at least 8 times. Also, I fit on the ride, which was kind of a bonus.
Amazing.
I don't fit on half of those fucking rides out there. So it's even if I wasn't scared of heights, which I am, it still would be kind of tough.
So here's the crazy thing. When I used to work there, when you're there, you don't show respect for the small rides. It's all about Millennium and Dragster.
It's all about waiting 3 hours for 5
by
minutes.
the way, what's going to happen first? Dragster reopening or AEW holding their stadium show next year?
I hope they both close. For good. No.
Man.
No.
But all those big rides and stuff, and so you forget to put respect on the small, on Iron Dragon. Even Gemini. Even, some of the mid-range rides. We go on Iron Dragon twice. And somehow, some way, we get back row both times. Oh, Blue Streak. That was the other one. Blue Streak.
Blue Streak was
Blue Streak. I'm sitting there. I'm like,
I couldn't ride it. I tried to sit down in the car and I couldn't fit. And they were like, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. First off, I get in there. I have thick thighs. I'm trying to lose weight. I've been trying here now. I feel a little athletic since we started this show.
Damn, boy, you thick.
Man, I get in there, man. They're like, we're going to strap you and get the seatbelt. Like, where's the seatbelt?
Underneath those fat-ass thighs, son.
Get this fucker. I'm trying to get this thing.
4 straight weeks he said F word.
And it's just, we're on the back row. True. Get that down.
That's a streak.
It's been August.
Pat McAfee has a streak on his show of shows and at times that don't say the F word. We're going to do for how many times you do say the F word in a row. This is fantastic.
We get on the back row, the back seat, and I'm like, it's Blue Streak. It's Blue Streak.
Oh, we got jerked around like.
Man, that first drop, that thing was like, whoa! Whoa!
That's a wood coaster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I mean,
yeah.
You're feeling
and then
that.
It just kept going.
You're feeling every bump of that one.
And it just kept going. So, lesson to me, never disrespect the Iron Dragon, Blue Streak, Gemini, don't do it. And then some of the other, so I used to work next to, when I ran the Plinko game, our stand was at the gatekeeper area. Do you remember the ride that's next to Gatekeeper? Not the Wicked Twister Superman,
Dude,
but you remember the small ride?
I haven't been to Cedar Point in probably over a decade.
Okay, so the small ride there, I think it's called Topeka. I think that's what it's called. It's like a spinning...
Topanga?
It's a spinning Topanga. And... No, it's not Max Air. Not Max Air. I do enjoy Max Air. But it's the small ride in that area. And I used to look over there like, how does this ride have a line? This is just for kids. Like, how does this thing have a line? It's one of Rebecca's favorite, roller coaster, rides and whatnot. We get on there. This thing has hang time. It goes up and then like, where was this?
So at Kalahari, they have like the water coaster?
Uh-huh.
We used to do a thing where that first hill, when you get shot off, we would pull up. So you would actually leave the track because they have like little parts where it shoots you and some parts where it's just a water slide.
Yeah.
So we knew that was a part where we could get away with it. We pull up and we hit the top hill one time, me and my buddy who actually weighed more than me. And we actually like shot down the thing and we legit got air. I thought we were going to go over the side. I was so nervous. And we just
Dude, I love Kalahari, but I'm water ride. Number one, I can't swim. Number two,
really?
I can't. No, so I'm not breaking that stereotype. I can't swim. Number one. But that's not the separate. I could do some water rides. I don't have with some, but some of the like big ones that's like off the tube or whatever. That's like you got to drop like 300 feet to the ground. Hell no.
We need to do like a Kalahari trip.
No,
we need to do a Kalahari.
We could do a Kalahari trip, but I will be at the hot tub.
Okay.
Getting an alcoholic beverage.
Got to ride everything at least once, man.
Oh man.
I can do water parks. I could do the water park or whatever it's called at Cedar Point, Soak City or whatever it is now.
Now it's Cedar Point Shores. I think that's
whatever it's called. Yeah, I can do those all day, no matter what.
I don't understand that. So you and Rebecca are kind of in the same boat here. So you could do those, but you can't do the big. I know you have the height restriction, but not the big coasters.
So did I tell you the dragster story I have?
I don't think you have.
So for those who don't know, the reason why I don't like roller coasters is because when I was younger, the Top Thrill Dragster opened. No experience with roller coasters, whatever it was. My dad took me to Cedar Point. We were riding the rides. It was fine, all that stuff, what I could get on. Again, I was a tall kid, though, so I can get on pretty much everything. But we go on the dragster. We get stuck.
Where did you get stuck?
At the top.
Oh, boy.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My dad, we're in the front row because my dad was one of those people. We're either sitting in the front or we're sitting in the back.
Oh, boy.
So we're in the front row. I am literally dying. I'm having I still have nightmares. I used to, through high school, would, wake up in the middle of the night screaming. My mom would be like, what's going on? I jumped out the top of the dragster again. They were telling us.
That's no joke.
They were telling us, hey, we were like a minute away from having us have you walk down the stairs. 420-some feet of stairs down. My dad's just fucking cackling the entire time. He loves it. He's enjoying himself. I'm like, nope. And since then, I can't do it. It's Iron Dragon 8 times. Kyle now.
You see Pete over there?
Yeah. I mean, listen, Iron Dragon ain't no joke.
I know it's not.
You see some shit on the Iron Dragon.
I do now.
You see some shit.
I have to make one. We're gonna get to the sweet moment of the week in a second here. I have to make one thing clear. I think Cedar Point should make an investment on cleaning up their water. So by the Iron Dragon, that is some dirty ass water. I mean, that's Charles Barkley Galveston, Texas water.
Do they have a convention center up there for Cedar Point at all, or anything like that? Or
I think they have different
something like that. Some sort of host the RNC. The water will get real clean.
Yeah, they need something. I've seen people.
Is that joke old now? It's been 8 years.
But man,
I feel like I shouldn't say it anymore. I don't know.
Waiting in line at Iron Dragon, it smelled like trash. It smelled from the water.
It could just be Ohio.
I mean, you might as well pee in there and the smell would improve. It's that bad.
No, 10 out of 10 Dodgers recommend you don't pee off a roller coaster. Just That's a little much. Because you're not taking into account the breezes. If you're in the front row, you're hitting everyone in the back. Let's
get to our sweet moment of the week. It's brought to you by BA Sweeties. We're We're not going to describe anything that happened just before.
Roman Reigns had an orgasm in the middle of the ring.
Is now, once again, the new head of the tape. Why are you giving me that look?
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Did I miss something?
Click
I
the next
thought.
slide.
Did I miss something? I thought he grabbed this thing. He is now once again
he
head
grabbed
of the
the thing.
table.
He grabbed his thing, and he made that face in the middle of the ring.
He made the face. I thought Fox 8 News came up right after. This is the sweet moment of the week, brought to you by B.A. Sweeties.
He got booted by a fucking boot.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Listen, so you wanted to make EC3 and that stuff our sweet moment of the week because we've got good reach with all of our clips with him, and obviously the episode we had with them last week, or I think it was the week before, whatever it was, last week I think, was the most viewed full episode we've had so far at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, the dude came out in a boot and just beat the shit out of the guy that was champion for 4 years. I mean, EC3 understands. He's going to have a great weekend, but that guy had a great Friday night. That was insane. And again, Jacob Fatu, I guess a broken foot or whatever it is not going to stop that fucking lunatic with a record going out there and just kicking people in the face. So awesome.
So we thought this whole time, oh, well, they're going to keep them apart for a long, long time. Well, a long time became 3 days.
Yeah, I was going to pull that clip, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But you know what, though? This is good news because this tells maybe, I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't know if Roman is scheduled to work the next two live or pay-per-views, premium live events. But if he is, or at least he could work one of them, then at least we will see him as solo at least.
Yeah.
And then, who knows, maybe we do get this match before Survivor Series. If not, I like your idea of perhaps getting this match, in 2025, but they might be fast-tracking Jacob Fatu right now. I don't know. We'll see.
I think that they wanted to include him in this to just show, hey, even when he's hurt, he's still a badass and better than most people. I think you're looking probably at Roman and Solo at Bad Blood.
Okay.
Which, again, they're trying to build that show up. It's in Atlanta, all that stuff.
Coming up early October.
Yeah. So I think that's probably when you're going to get that match. And then Survivor Series will be the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline, whatever. But Jacob Fatu is going to be just moving on up that that caveat where you saw even when he got hurt, he was barking orders at Solo to do things. And Solo was listening. Solo was like, cool. Solo during this show was basically saying, hey, if Roman beats me, he can take the Ulafala. He can do this. He can, we will acknowledge him if he can take this from me, that kind of stuff. Like, it just seems like he's not going to be the leader for long. And I think Triple H has been really good at pivoting, and people have been in awe of this guy. They like Solo. Solo's been getting over as a heel and all that stuff, and I think he still has a place. But
there's somebody I talked to today who does not like Solo. More on that in a moment.
Which, hey, not everyone's cup of tea. We get that because he's already been on the roster for a while, so it's an adjustment for him, too, being in this role. But there's no denying Jacob Fatu. And then once he's able to talk more, it's going to be... Imagine Solo's build, but then he's actually, like, even better at promos. You know that. Like, it's going to be insane. And, again, 34 or whatever, how old he is, he's going to be one of those next guys with Jay and with some of the other ones that are just going to lead this whole thing into the future while Roman kind of maybe moves to more of a part-time basis, and Solo, whatever he does, is what he does.
So I wonder, because the wheels were turning for a little bit, even this week, just thinking about this angle. First off, is Jacob Fatu, will he ultimately be appointed as the leader? I don't know if it's a smart question to ask if he's really the leader, because if he's really the leader, you're not taking orders from somebody else unless it's The Rock. But, where does Solo's in the family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Solo's
the cousins are, but the
Tongans are technically
but they're not, they are, but they're like distant cousins.
They're very distant, and I think honestly, there's even a chance maybe they aren't physically related. Mm-hmm. But it's also just because the Pacific Islanders, that kind of stuff, they stick together. But I told you, the Samoans and the Tongans hate each other. So, I mean, that's, documented.
I wonder how that would play in with Survivor. This is why the Survivor, I cannot believe this. We're months away from War Games, but it's all coming together, and it's beautiful to watch. I wonder, even within the Temu bloodline, what's going to be the inner workings of that.
You can't keep losing. That's the thing. You can't have. Which again,
they have to. Yeah,
they did a good job of saying, "Hey, us complete can beat Roman, so Roman's going to have to get help."
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if maybe you don't see Roman this coming Friday and the following Friday because they're going to be in Berlin too and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he's scheduled.
No, but the Friday after, I think that's when you're going to start seeing, because I think they're getting closer to moving to USA too.
There are conflicting reports of whether or not he will be on the first USA episode in mid-September or not, but he will definitely have a presence.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, he's going to be.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to be. I mean, that's one of the reasons why USA wanted to get Smackdown, because Roman's on the show. So,
one major detail, though, as this story progressed, two things. Number one, Paul Heyman had comments about this. He was like, all you've seen is Roman back on television. That's all you know. We don't know who Solo, what kind of help and resources Solo has. We don't know, that's also telling that this group is going to grow, could grow. We don't know what the next move is, even with Roman. Roman hasn't talked. We technically don't know his motivation behind all of this.
Well, we got an idea.
We have an idea, but
because
we don't
he put the
know.
Ulafala on, so he obviously feels challenged and wants to get it back, but right now he's by himself, and that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
He can't handle 3-4 of these guys by himself. So the next question is, when does Jimmy come back? And then obviously the recruitment of Jay begins.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth person we've heard a lot. It could be Sami Zayn. They could bring in Hakulio, who's coming from New Japan, he's like 7 feet.
But even with him, whose side would he be?
Well, he would be obviously on Roman's side because he would recruit him. So it's 4-on-4 for the Survivor Series match. The Temu bloodline is set, I think. The only thing they could add is possibly a wise man. Doing something like Rikishi or something like that would be kind of really cool, because it would fuck over the Usos big time too.
That'd be something.
Because he's all their dad.
Rikishi would be like.
So I mean, he's Solo's dad too.
I finally have family members who take this seriously, while my sons are out here yeeting. I finally have.
I got a guy who's trying to restore a family name, and he's going in the main events and winning and all that stuff, and not losing every title opportunity he gets and all this stuff and everything. I mean, there's a way to.
There are multiple ways to go about.
There's a way to do it, but I mean, I think that's the 4-on-4 you're probably going to get. I honestly think Sami Zayn stays out of it.
Really?
Unfortunately, I think people want to see it, but I think it's going to be family, full on.
It might be too soon to get Sami back into the fold.
I don't think Roman and Sami are ever going to have that connection again. I think that was the main reason why Sami left. It wasn't the Usos. It wasn't Solo. It wasn't Paul.
There was one little part of Raw that I noticed. I don't know if you caught this, but when Sami and Jay were backstage, I think it was this week when they were backstage.
Sami was off the show this week, so it must have been 2 weeks
It was
ago.
last week. Good. Yeah, you're right. Last week when they were talking about, like, Jay's like, all right, we're going to get these tag team titles back and such. I think it was, there was a little. I noticed a little something body language wise. I have to go back and watch.
Oh, with Sami? Yeah.
With Sami. Did you notice?
Dejected. Because he worked so hard to get that singles championship. He beat the guy that was unbeatable at WrestleMania, essentially. Second straight year he's been in a marquee match and won a title at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost it 90 days after, so 100 days after, whatever it was. So he was obviously.
Like, I'm glad you picked that up. Like, it's not that he's not supporting Jay.
Yeah.
Loves Jay.
Yeah.
Loves it. But
he wants to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
He wants to win the world title, and I don't know if he's comfortable. His character is comfortable with getting back into that story.
This is a good setup because it gives Jay something to do. He'll probably make it to the finals of the Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be away for a bit. Sami gets a chance to take a break as well.
Yeah.
And then he can come back, and then obviously at that point, I mean, it's Gunther.
Yeah.
So there's a story there already. I already beat you for a championship.
I like the Rikishi. We got to wrap this segment up. Again, the Sweet Moment of the Week brought to you by BA Sweeties. I like the Rikishi idea.
There's got to be a wise man for Solo. There's got to be somebody helping him be strategic, because we've seen him do it more recently. He's been, even the last episode of SmackDown, right? He's saying these things and telling, Tama Tonga, okay, but you will acknowledge Roman if he takes this from me. Like, he's not saying that shit before. Before he's saying, I'm going to crush him, I'm going to do everything.
Yeah.
There's someone in his ear.
Something's happening.
The question is, who is it?
and even before SummerSlam, like before he would have pulled the trigger. Yeah, you have 4 against 1, 4 against Cody.
Yeah, he didn't.
He did not pull the trigger.
He waited. So I mean,
why did he wait?
Yeah, there's something there. We'll see what
He
happens.
could have finished Cody. He could have finished Cody right then and there. The tag titles had nothing to do with it because he still would have won the tag titles. A lot of good stuff. All right. This story we can talk about for a full hour, but we'll end it here. Our BA Sweeties moment of the week brought to you by BA Sweeties, and we've nothing but great things about BA Sweeties. The kids. Well, Kyle's kids going back next week. So if you have yet to go back,
private school, mother father.
If you have yet to go back, check out BA Sweeties. And look, I know the first day of school could be tough. All kidding aside, first day, a lot of anxiety, a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement, but a lot of nerves. Things so. After that first week of your kid,
That's to say,
back,
you're talking to the parents or the kids?
a lot of nerves for a lot. I'm looking at the dads here in our studio. A lot of nerves.
I'm excited. He loves school, so I'm cool with it. He loves learning, being around his friends.
Yeah,
so,
hey, back with your friends. Back with everyone. Hey, how about taking that trip to BA Sweeties? Right there, Ridge Road exit, Interstate 480 off the Ridge Road. Take a left on Brook Park Road, and you see that Johnny Lollipop, and you go right there. It's a fun time.
It is. There's so much you can do. We talked about, obviously, not only just the inside of the shop itself, 180,000 different kinds of candy bars at any point, all the different kinds of soda, the milkshakes too over, again, at the shop up there at the front, but you can also play mini golf. It could be a full-on day type thing. Even if you're busy during the week now, school's starting up again, like you mentioned, hey, go on the weekends too, take advantage of it. While we still have the nice weather, I'm kind of hoping it stays warm.
Yeah, it's going to warm up.
I've never wanted global warming more than I do this year. But nevertheless, still, take advantage of this stuff, man, because time's running out. Summer's coming to a close here in the next few weeks, and then we start getting in the fall. It's going to get a little more chilly out.
And they have ice cream flavors for that, too.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing. If you haven't gone back to school yet, 10 to 2, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the early bird putt-putt special. Get that last round of putt-putt golf in, or your first round. Get it in at a discounted price before your kids head back to the classroom to do some educational stuff.
Yeah, fucking learn.
And here's a word from BA Sweeties. Double A Anthony Alford here for Sweeties. You know they're for candy, but did you know that they're a major popcorn manufacturer? Their brands are sold in every grocery store in Northeast Ohio. Want to talk about the varieties? They have 30 of them of gourmet popcorn under the Campbell's and All-American brands right here in their industrial kitchen on the Brook Park Road campus. The famous Humphrey popcorn balls and Olympia popcorn is made in Strongsville. Talk about... I told you last week... You're something else, man.
Yeah.
I told you last week, before our interview with EC3 and Amanda, I actually stopped at BA Sweeties.
Mm-hmm.
Got an unbelievable milkshake upon request. So it was a cookies and cream cheesecake milkshake, and they have an ice cream for them. I went up to the attendant. I'm like, hey, can you make this in a milkshake? And they're like, yeah, we got you. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good, man. It was phenomenal. Get 30 different flavors of ice cream, milkshakes, different pops. Got all that covered for you at BA Sweeties. So
You do.
definitely check it out. Giant Lollipop. You'll see it on Brook Park Road. If you pass a Giant Lollipop, turn around and go back and get your candy.
Yeah, pull your fucking atlas out and figure it out because you need to go back.
Yeah. Well, you won't need that. The lollipop is there. I do want to acknowledge real quick before we move on with the show. Again, I want to thank EC3 and Amanda, Casey for, we both want to thank them for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Last week. Kyle mentioned it a couple minutes ago. Our most viewed full episode.
Like the full thing. We post clips throughout the week, some fun stuff, minute, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. Obviously, Sweet Moment is usually 5 to 10 minutes, but yeah, full episode. Really appreciate them. Obviously, big show coming up this Saturday, so make sure you guys check all of our socials. We're going to be plugging that all the way through, but
Yeah, we'll be there.
And we're going to be there, too.
We'll both be there. Journey 2.
Preferred seats.
How about that?
I think it's first 2 or 3 rows we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get a nice, almost front row seat. I'm not that rich. So.
It's a great time, though. Loaded card. I think this will be your first time attending.
For Exodus, yes. It'll be the first time.
Show.
An NWA show. First time I've been to it.
Yeah, I've been to a few of the Exodus shows. They're great. It's a great time, and for certain listeners as well, yes, EC3's muscles are real.
We can confirm.
We can confirm there were real muscles.
I usually don't feel small in a room, but thanks, man. Appreciate it.
But thank you again for coming. For them for coming in. Also, the credit belongs to LPV Productions as well. Pete setting this studio up and making sure that Kyle sounded smart last week. So want to thank Pete for. I was gonna go.
What the fuck did Pete do? He grabbed 2 more chairs. Giving him all this
he
fucking
cleaned
credit.
them. He
wiped them down and then he put them there.
Him and Jake, they wiped down the chairs. They put them in the right spot. We had the mic checks and the right plug in and everything. And it got done.
Eat a dick, Anthony. It's not my fault I was lied to.
All right, I have to bring this up real quick. So this is Cody and Solo from their SummerSlam main event match. And I bring this up for one reason.
I'm going to put my thumb in his mouth.
So.
Like a little baby. Look at him.
So
I know. Like, oh, sucky, sucky. He's like, oh, he's going to put my thumb in his mouth.
Oh, he's going to do it. So I'm at the barbershop earlier or yesterday. Y'all know we tape on Wednesdays. So I'm at the barbershop. And so JV, who does make sure this looks good, just take care of me now for, like 2 years now. 2 years now down in Bedford. Link's Barbershop, Broadway, Columbus Road, Warrensville Center, that area. Metro downtown Bedford.
Free plug next time it costs you.
Facts. No, but they do a great job. I love going there. They do great. But he watches our clips. He watches our show. But he's not a pro wrestling fan.
Like, we love that.
Which we love. Like I think I told you in text earlier. I think it is hilarious explaining pro wrestling to someone who doesn't understand pro wrestling.
Well, Pete's told us 100 times. Like, I haven't watched this in forever, but you guys are kind of like entertaining, so it's not a complete waste of my time. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
So he brought it up. He's like, I watched SummerSlam. And I don't know who he was like. I don't know who the guy was who fought Cody Rhodes, but I don't know if it's today or was this way before. But he ain't really hitting Cody. Like he's not really making contact with Cody. Like he wasn't feeling the physicality coming from Solo. And I explain, I'm like, it's not Stone Cold. I mean, he's not doing that. But I'm like, I understand. But Roman will be back, and Cody's in there, and such. He's like, yeah, but I think with today, with the cameras and stuff, and I'm like, it's HD, so you see things that you didn't see before.
What did Yoda say to the flat screen TV?
Right.
HD, am I?
It's HD, yeah. So the barber that works next to him, again, good dude, comes up to me. He actually knows somebody. One of his friends is an independent wrestler down in Texas.
Oh.
Which is cool. He told me, he's like, first I didn't think he would go into wrestling. I thought he was going to be a rapper. Okay, fine. So then he's like, so obviously it's fake, but like, do they get hurt? I'm like, well,
it's not fake.
I'm like, well, what if I choke slammed you onto this concrete floor, and then would you would feel pain, right? If I choked you into this concrete floor, full force, you would feel pain. What you're supposed to do is sell. If I choke slammed you onto this concrete floor and you got your ass right back up, then I'm tagging you for real. That is pro wrestling.
So anyone who thinks that it's fake and they're just whatever, they're just actors and it can't hurt at all. I don't understand if they get hurt. Take one bump. So when I trained for a few months, like, it didn't affect me because, again, athlete, I was like 19 or 20 at the time. I was still young. Honestly, I took the bump. I'm like, this feels good. Like, I liked it. I'm used to the physicality, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these people that have, like, never played sports or never done anything or whatever, like, what the hell? It's fake. It's bullshit, all that stuff. Go in there, find a ring somewhere, go to a local training, whatever it is, and just hang out for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just one day. And see if you ever want to step back foot in that ring. Like, it is physical, it is painful, it is scripted television. Actors get hurt during movies if they do their own stunts. These are all paid, again, EC3 didn't like the wordage, but I still call it actors to an extent, who do all of their own stunts. There's no stunt doubles. There's no retakes on live television.
Mm-hmm.
They're going first take all the way through, putting together some of these 25, 30-minute matches, segments, whatever.
Yeah.
Where they're going and they're just taking hit after hit after hit. Again, you protect them where you can, and sometimes it's a lot of trust.
And it's performative.
Yeah.
It's all performance. You're there, you tell a story. And
There's a lot of people that think regular sports are predetermined in some aspects. So,
like, you thought I was joking last week. You know, you guys made a joke like, yeah, you should take the chop from EC3. Hell no. Hell no. No.
Honestly, I would take one because I know how.
No.
But I wouldn't enjoy it, but I'd do it.
No. I don't care if I was wearing a shirt and tie. No. Because I would have been on the floor right here.
Pussy.
I would have been, shut the hell up. I would have been on the floor
Pussy.
right here selling the chop. Kyle would have did the rest of the show by himself. Now, and the rest of the interview by himself.
Pussy.
I ain't taking no chop.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right, Mr. Top Thrill Dragster.
Listen, you get fucking stuck up there for 20 minutes, Mr. Cedar Point. Just because they gave you a Burger King crown because you won the most fucking points at an award at Cedar Point night doesn't mean you can handle that either. That was nightmarish. I still fucking get scared of that
First
shit.
of all, it's called a cornerstone, okay? You watch your mouth there. I didn't win no crown.
You had a kidney stone?
A little bit. I was awarded. I talked to the owner, okay? That hits home with me, all right? As a prime millennial, I take great offense to that.
As a prime millennial.
Did you see what you didn't see on social media what I said about old football fields?
Well, you know that the football field we're going to this week has new turf.
Yes. Yeah. I said on social media.
Turf.
I said on social media, how in the world did people watch football back in the 90s and 80s? Because, like, I put on, like, old 90s clips, and they're all played on baseball fields. And I'm like, they're
You just watched a bunch of Raider clips.
ugly. But, like, every stadium, even here in Cleveland, like, every stadium, it was played on a... Oh, we can't get rid of the baseball field. We're just going to slap on yards.
Motherfuckers ain't got no money. They couldn't have multiple stadiums all over the place and all that stuff. It was
I
people
understand
were cheap.
that. I understand it, but I get people. Our old buddy from the Triv show, Seth Woods. He's like, oh well, you know, how can you watch football today when you blow wind at the quarterbacks and they get called for a penalty, you know? And this, I'm like, well, look, just because you're right, okay, doesn't mean that.
Seth, whenever you feel the need to take off that fake leg and beat the shit out of Anthony with it, please do. Because
I'm not on mic, but you realize that football and baseball seasons overlap.
I understand they overlap. That doesn't
That too, you.
that doesn't take away from the fact that it's ugly watching. It's ugly viewing. Like,
I want to slide to second while I'm scoring a touchdown. Eat a dick.
oh man, I
Triple H like, calm down. Before you have another heart attack, calm down.
Man, we may not have time to really sink our teeth into this particular topic on the rundown. Oh, we'll give it a shot here. I did realize something as I was at Cedar Point, and actually the barbershop trip today. I wore my new Cody Rhodes shirt at Cedar Point, and I had, I want to say, 5 or 6 strangers. Half of them were kids. Some were grown adults.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes.
It came up to me. And it's like, I really like the shirt. And cool stuff. Really cool stuff. And it got me thinking here. But I want to spin this into all of pro wrestling, not just WWE, but all of pro wrestling. Are we at a better period now in pro wrestling, 2024, throughout the entirety of pro wrestling? The picture, a popular number 1 company, the number 2 companies on the air, and then a very respectable independent wrestling scene where it is cool to talk wrestling. I can make a case because of everyone that's involved, the entire family. I can make a case, perhaps, that wrestling is at a better state right now than it was even during the Attitude Era. It's in a better state. Will we take Attitude Era like superstars over today? Probably. But in terms of the totality of, hey, wrestling's cool for the entire family, but there are adult storylines too. There are some cool things that's going on. For those who don't like WWE, there's at least somewhat respectable alternative, and then there's a very, very viable independent scene, underground scene. I think wrestling's at a better state right now than perhaps it's ever been. I'm at least pointing out the late 90s because of what's going on, and this man has a lot to do with it. What's your thoughts?
No. I still think the Attitude Era was, and probably forever will be, the most popular era, because not only was it WWE and WCW, it was ECW too. They were the independent at that time that were pulling a lot of people, and their impact has been everlasting.
And they had a completely different style too.
Yeah, 20-some years after they closed. I mean, they still are, people are to this day are still chanting ECW wherever they go. You pull a table out, they lose their fucking mind. Like, it just happens. Also, I look at the TV numbers. I look at, like, the reach. Like, it was really cool to be a WCW or WWE fan from, like, 97 to 2001, 2002. Like, it was just, you could go anywhere without seeing an Austin shirt or an NWO shirt or whatever. I think we're on a good trajectory now, and I think as far as monetarily concerned, it's at its peak right now. It's ever been, just because it's valued as much as it is. WWE did just sell for over $9 billion. It wouldn't have sold for $9 billion back in 2000.
Right,
but
and even if you look at this, if you judge strictly on the stock market, which again, WWF was not publicly traded, I believe, until 99.
I think it was 2001
or 2001.
It was after the bulk of the Attitude Era was over.
That even is not really a fair comparison. But, WWE, John Cena brought it up. He was on with Shannon Sharp.
He did one of those one-on-ones?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah, he did.
Shannon brought John Cena on.
John Cena.
I gotta watch that. I hope he showed up with a 40 and just
brought him on. He has some interesting thoughts.
That's
but
sick.
He actually, I'm not going to sidetrack here, but he mentioned when he came into WWE, it was trading at like $11.
Yeah.
TKO is trading at 117.
Yeah.
Like, so that's big, but
it's over 10 times its value.
Yeah, but creatively, it's tough to argue man, you bring up Attitude Era with anybody.
It was just so hot. Like you could say 80s Hogan for popularity of the sport too and all that stuff, and you could talk about like the territory days in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s. But yeah, I mean the Attitude Era just for pure viewership and popularity, like you could not go anywhere without it there being you running into wrestling fans or whatever it was. Like it was so damn popular, and it birthed the biggest stars maybe we've ever seen in the industry with The Rock, with Stone Cold, with Triple H, who was in this picture, who was a main part of that era too.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels was obviously big in that era. I mean, like I said, NWO, Hulk Hogan made a comeback in that era as a bad guy. Like there was so much that happened in there with those names that it's going to be really tough popularity-wise to ever get to that level. And again, drawing 6.5, 7, 8, 9 million people a week watching the show on average.
Like actually cutting into Monday Night Football numbers.
Yes.
Like legitimately cutting into.
Like making it like, holy shit, they're going to like beat them maybe. Like, oh my God. Like it's insane. And that was both shows.
Now, I'm curious, because 98 was an especially strong year for both companies. And through history, if you tell the tale of the Monday Night Wars, after the 83 weeks, WWF just passed WCW. But WCW in 98 was still doing very respectable numbers. It all went downhill in 99.
Yeah, they're both posting 6, 7, 8
Yeah.
on the night. That's like, holy shit.
Like, whoa.
Like that's crazy for a wrestling show
Mhm.
when they have this kind of competition and they're both posting those numbers.
Yeah, and that's why we get
Like,
so frustrated with AEW, which we'll talk about a little later on. But I'm curious, and we may not be the right people to answer this because we're both, I'm 32, you are 30-something.
When people say they're your friend, you feel good, right? You feel warm, you feel fuzzy. And they don't know anything fucking about you. 30.
That was close.
My birthday was a couple months ago.
That was close. I would have won the guessing game.
You said 30 something.
Yeah, that works.
You can't get the decade right. You
Don't worry.
sorry son of a bitch. I knew you were 32.
Look here, motherfucker. Don't worry.
No, mother father. Do it right.
I stand corrected.
If you're going to insult me,
I stand corrected.
say it with your chest.
I wonder.
Pussy.
I wonder.
What's new, pussycat?
Well, the older fans, I guess our parents, I mean, I know my parents were comfortable with, us, watching wrestling.
Not mine.
How many parents were not comfortable with their kids watching Attitude Era?
Well, I think when it kind of crescendoed to me pedigreeing a kid in 7th grade, my dad was like, okay, enough's enough.
All right, okay, yeah,
Like during summer camp, he's
Yeah.
like, no, you probably shouldn't be fucking watching that anymore. but
But you know what? But because with these, what I will argue about this, every show you do see kids, but it's not. It's not
at AEW shows. You don't.
at respectable wrestling shows, like the one we're going to Saturday, like WWE. You do see children, but it's not.
We timed that shit out.
But
Yeah.
it's not like 2008 where it's like, oh, we have to dumb the product down for kids.
Yeah.
Kids are catching on to the stuff that's going on, and there are different levels as far as storytelling.
Listen, I'm fine with it from like 8 to 9 or 8 to 10 even if you want.
Mm.
We're PGing it up, but from 10 to 11, I want to see titties. No, I'm kidding.
There used to be a channel for that. They got rid of that?
Cinemax isn't a thing anymore.
No.
HBO Max?
Well,
whatever it is.
Cinemax still exists as a
Yeah.
network, but they don't show.
They don't have any of that stuff anymore.
No.
After 2 o'clock, that's
no,
when,
they don't do that no more.
not even on the weekends.
No.
How do you
No.
know?
I did my research.
Oh,
They don't.
okay.
No, they don't do that no more.
I stayed up and
They don't do that. It was a write-off with Warner Brothers.
wrote it off.
I mean, they can't watch either. New Day they can't watch Odyssey Jones. They can't watch Cinemax no more. No,
Nope.
no. That's why Xavier Woods has been pissed this whole time.
Timu Big E.
Oh, wait a minute now. Now Odyssey Jones. Wait a minute. Okay. Question to the audience: are you buying into Odyssey Jones?
I actually kind of like him. I think he's a little too over the top.
He's very over the top.
They're trying to make him
very
Big
over the
E.
top.
Like, they're trying to make him Big E, and the problem is no one's Big E with that personality. So like you have to temper that and just let him be dominant, and then like you can be excited, but like it's too much.
I have some deep diving questions here. What's your overall thoughts of this story? Intrigues me. It really does. What's your overall thoughts of this storyline?
It's going to be really great when Xavier Woods wins that Intercontinental Championship one day. Something about him. It's just some guys we talked about. They don't have it, and you kind of wonder. Speaking of which, we have to do that Austin Theory episode this month at some point.
It might get pushed to September.
We might have to wait. Maybe we'll take a break. But like it's.
We might have to add Xavier, maybe have to add him to the list here.
I think we might have to. But, like, Kofi had a run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big E, we always felt like he was destined for a run. It was just when were they going to let him go to the front?
Yeah.
When he got his own theme music again and started doing that shit. Okay, we got it. Won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Xavier won King of the Ring, and it kind of feels like that was the crescendo. That was like almost like to test the water a little bit to see if he could get over.
Yeah, but it felt like a joke.
Because it was.
Yeah.
So, like, this is his opportunity now. Whenever this turn happens, which you mentioned apropos, this will be the sweet moment of the week when it happens because they're building this correctly. But the problem with Xavier turning on this iteration of Kofi and Odyssey Jones is the fact that Odyssey is so dominant. Who's going to align with Xavier at that point? Is he going to be Final Testament? Is he going to find someone else? Is he going to pull Omos out of his ass and let that be kind of his muscle while Xavier kind of picks the bones and tries to move towards the world heavyweight title scene? I don't know.
That would be intriguing.
I mean, but
I'm not calling for it, but that would be intriguing.
I'm interested in this, but I'm concerned about what Xavier's ceiling is compared to Kofi, Big E. Those guys, obviously, you could see them reaching the mountaintop. I don't know about Woods.
Well, that's good, though. I guess in a sense because
good and bad because
it's good that we have these questions now. It'll be bad if ultimately you're right and he doesn't pan out, but hell, it's worth trying.
Oh no, Otis is in the main event, right?
Oh yeah, he could be on his way.
Fucking joke.
You know,
yeah, when he's not jobbing the fucking
WWE
American-made WWE main event.
Yeah, I told you, I'm not wrong. It's on the CD. He's on the CW show.
I'm still waiting for that apology.
You ain't getting it.
You're 0 for 2 on those predictions, buddy.
0 for 2.
There's another one you did earlier that I remember. I can't remember now. At the top
I was
of my
about
head.
to say, what was the other one I missed?
It was pretty bad. I forget what it was, but it was pretty rough.
Everybody missed out.
Oh no, it was AEW. It was when you said, "Oh, they're turning the corner," and then the next week they fucking tanked.
They were turning the corner for like that night.
You said
that night they were turning the corner.
You said on the show, "Watch, this is going to be a thing now where people are interested. They're really going to start watching." Oh, fucking K. Wait till the last topic of the show.
They were. And I gave you that apology. You shut the hell up. I didn't say you gave me the apology.
I gave you that apology. I said you were 0 for 2. I didn't say you apologized for the first one. You haven't apologized for Otis yet because that was an out of the box fucking take. Listen, I say some crazy shit on this show. This dude, oh boy.
Let me say this about Woods. Look,
a lot of leaves.
Lot of that. He has a lot of stamina. As proven.
Listen, he could be a star, but maybe he's in the wrong profession, if you know what I'm saying.
He has a lot of stamina.
26 minutes. It's not bad.
Kofi is already at his ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Kofi.
He's hit that ceiling. Ceiling's been champion.
Kofi has hit that ceiling.
He was the guy for 6 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he...
And the story, in a way, is not about Odyssey Jones. It really isn't. Odyssey Jones, great moveset. I agree, he's a little bit too much over the top.
A little much.
I
Listen,
almost going to boo him over the top.
Like we know you got drafted twice and didn't do anything, but take it easy, man.
Let's pump the brakes here. But maybe it's by design. But whatever. This is all about Woods. If you notice too, and there was a social media hit that Karrion Kross and Scarlett was a part of, where they basically exited themselves from the story, which is cool because, they did all they could. Now it's up to Woods. Obviously, he's seen that the world is passing him by. can he elevate himself to be? Look, if he wins the Intercontinental Championship, if he's in this tournament, and he's in a match against Braun Breaker or somebody, if he's in a major tournament match, this is his opportunity.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be the turning point.
I don't know who would play the bad guy in this.
Oh, it'd be Woods. He'd have to be a heel. Yeah. And then, again, you could use Omos because that's the only guy that really stacks up to Odyssey. They're not going to pull Braun Strowman in for that. You have to find another big guy to handle this dude.
Yeah, you could. But at the end of the day, can Woods get himself over?
Yeah, that's the big thing.
If you put him in the ring with Kofi. Now, let me give you this. I think Kofi is a good enough actor where he can really, when he takes things seriously and he's angry, Kofi is money.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
He can work, and he'll sell for Woods. He'll make him look really good, and that's gonna be a fun match to watch. An actual not oh it's for fun type thing, because I think they did that once, and we haven't really seen a heel Xavier Woods since New Day first started, and again it was kind of muted to an extent. Letting taking the shackles off and letting him just be an asshole. Mm-hmm. I mean, could be worth it.
He's showing it, and the cool thing about it, the elevation of this story, is that everything that he is saying, or everything that the Final Testament, I should say, everything that they're saying, they're not wrong. None of this is wrong. So I thought the heel turn was going to happen this past week. It didn't. Fine, because now the commentators really laid it on thick that we have something going on here.
Doesn't seem as happy. He's not celebrating as much with the win. What's going on?
He didn't get the tag.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next.
Yeah. Do we have to?
Are you watching this paper? I literally asked on.
No, we're going to be busy. We're going to be watching real wrestling that night.
No, this is a Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday?
This is a Sunday.
I still don't care. Shocker.
I literally on social media, I was like, is anybody buying this pay-per-view? Anybody buying this pay-per-view? Everyone laughed at me. Laughed out of the computer land.
Saw that post.
Terrible.
They laughed me out of computer land.
Do you care about this? Is AEW's biggest show. This is their biggest show. And are you going to the show next year in Texas in the middle of July? Will the company still exist in the middle of July of next year? We'll talk about all that coming up next. And rapid fire, but first, a word from BA Sweeties. Double A Anthony Alford here for Sweeties. You know they're for candy, but did you know that they're a major popcorn manufacturer? Their brands are sold in every grocery store in Northeast Ohio. Want to talk about the varieties? They have 30 of them of gourmet popcorn under the Campbell's and All-American brands right here in their industrial kitchen on the Brook Park Road campus. The famous Humphrey popcorn balls and Olympia popcorn is made in Strongsville. Talk about fresh. Stop in at the Brook Park Road store or Sweetie's Olympia Treats in Strongsville for the freshest, best tasting popcorn anywhere. 30 different flavors, BA Sweeties with the ice cream and the classic Cokes and all the candy you could dream of. All the candy you could dream of.
All that candy dough.
Oh, and so I saw with the popcorn, because I know you like the Buffalo Ranch. They have the CLE popcorn package, which I believe is caramel, cheese, and I forgot the other flavor, but it's all mixed in there as one. It's the CLE branded popcorn. Really good stuff.
I know what I'm getting at my next trip.
What I'm getting at my next trip is those Kool-Aid, the Kool-Aid stuff that they have there. It's just really, really, really good. Oh, and the chocolate bars. You have to stop me from getting all that stuff. So this is, man, this is sad. I'm not even joking. This is
okay. So let's before you bury it, I'm going to say something positive about AEW right now.
Yes, thank you, Pete.
Yeah, put the one shot on me. They still sold, 50,000 tickets, right?
Yes, they did.
Listen, end of the day, stadium show, they don't do these very often. They do them once a year. So, hats off to 50,000 people. Doesn't matter what the capacity is. I know last year they sold a lot more, but they're not as hot as they were last year. They're not as hard as they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. So it is what it is. Okay, I'm done. That was pretty much it.
We're gonna save that tape. We're gonna do a Christmas special.
Actually, we will because we're supposed to record it on Christmas, I think.
I ain't doing no show on Christmas. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas special.
I celebrate a different Christmas, so that's.
So.
Oh, now you want to fucking okay.
So
that offended him.
That is my breaking point.
I can't help that I'm Serbian. You son of a bitch.
Honor Santa, okay?
Honor Santa. Fuck. Okay. My calendar's 2 weeks later. I'm sorry.
What, January 7th?
Yes. Yes, Pete. Orthodox Christmas.
There you go.
You fucking hater.
I'm not a hater.
What is?
Are you free the day before?
Christmas Eve?
Guess what I'm doing? Got my shades on so I can block out the haters. No, Christmas Eve is also like a holiday for us too. But
Yes, yeah.
Well,
That's a holiday for a lot of people.
I'll fucking be there. It's fine. I won't miss a show.
You can miss this. We haven't missed a show all year.
That's kind of the point.
I know. That's exactly the point. It's digital. It's digital content.
Yeah. We'll just record a day sooner.
That's right. We're really doing our best to avoid. Everything Kyle just said is really nice, and he's right. And yes, they should be commended. Cool, great.
But who fucking cares? Like you just said it in the spot there for BA Sweetie. Like we don't the match card. I can name this because I know shit like this for some reason. We know
the top three. We know the top three.
We know it's Swerve and Bryan Danielson for the AEW
Which
Championship.
I have a proposal for that. It's actually Tommy Dreamer actually put out a good proposal on another program, which I actually agree with. I think they should go with this, but whatever.
Nevertheless, Tommy Dreamer's the only one that gives a fuck. Will Ospreay and MJF for the American Championship. It's technically the international title or whatever it is. And then the
Olympic world title.
They have two marquee women's matches on it, technically. One is Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker. The other one is Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Toni Storm versus Mariah May, or as some people on TikTok are calling it, the best story in pro wrestling. Please shove it up your fucking ass. I love Toni Storm. I think Mariah May, is very talented too. But wrong show. Nevertheless, and that's not. I'm not even trying to blow smoke up. Listen, I'm not trying to blow shit up WWE's ass, but at the same time, like it's terrible.
How
booking.
did we get here? Like, and look, and again, there are some Smackdowns that are actually kind of tough to get through. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
There's some. I mean, Raw right now too is a little tough because we don't really know what we're doing, and Judgment Day kind of fell apart, and they're kind of back together, and it's WWE's not perfect by any means. But at least like we can kind of tell what direction they're going in.
All right, so I have this idea for Danielson should win this match.
Well, no shit. If he loses, he retires.
So he should win this match.
There's one guy that doesn't want to do retire.
And then exactly, and then the next time he loses, he retires.
Like the John Cena thing that they're trying to throw out there too for Cena, win the 17 World Heavyweight Championship, and then. All right, when I drop it, I'm done.
And then I guess the working theory, Swerve and Danielson, I think their October pay-per-view is in Swerve's hometown, in Washington State, which yes is
also Brian's
Danielson's home turf as well. But that would be where Swerve, who I would assume at that point would be a heel,
you would assume.
Win, but again, it's Swerve's hometown, so
there's no heels and baby faces in AEW.
Yeah,
that's why the crowd's silent. They don't know who to cheer for. I'm sure there's gonna be 10 5-star matches on this show, AA, and I could give two fucks.
So I have one other idea. I'm really trying here. I'm really trying. I have one other idea. So let me ask you this. Do you get Bally Sports? I think I asked you before. Do you get Bally Sports?
I need to pay for it. No, I don't get it.
Okay. Pete, you get Bally Sports, correct? You do not. So I asked because the Guardians, their first place team, the Cavs have had a playoff run, but a lot of people can't watch the games. And so you take the money over exposure. AEW's greatest strength is pay-per-view. Their greatest strength is pay-per-view. I think it is imperative for them. I think they legitimately may need to go to WWE Network or Max route if they could score that in their new TV deal.
Which
they have got to get more eyes on their pay-per-views.
I think that you're going to see that probably when they sign this new deal. It's apparently close. Apparently it's for double what they were originally offered way back in 2019, which, again, if you take into account inflation and all that kind of stuff. It's in line with what they're getting around, like what they'd be getting now for the same price then or whatever. But
at
again,
least they're getting paid.
But they have the Ring of Honor umbrella too. I think it's going to be a deal for everything and not just AEW, Dynamite, and all that stuff. Like, it's going to be to hold the library. It's going to be to do all that stuff. So you expect a little bit more money out of that. Profitable, maybe. At that point, maybe a little bit, but not much. But again, Tony's got endless bank accounts, so it doesn't really matter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is not a lot of other companies here who's like, okay, the owner's kind of strapped for money.
And they're not trying to make money. So you don't care about ratings. You care about a key demo that no one fucking really pays attention to. So
I guess that's my issue. Okay, so if we're saying they don't care about making money, but they're adding pay-per-views.
It's more reasons to have 5-star matches and not to tell stories on TV. Listen, Tony Khan's a matchmaker, but he's not a booker. He can make matches. Anyone can make fucking matches. I can walk in the door right now and see 10 talented guys and be, okay, I can make matches out of this. But he can't tell stories because he doesn't know what he's doing.
I mean, the fact that you can't tell story, like, let me clarify something that you said, because there will be people on the social media who are, anti-W, who love AEW, who will clap back at you say they don't tell stories. Oh, they tell stories.
They can kiss my fucking cinnamon ring.
They need to tell good stories. Good stories that make sense.
No.
Good stories that people want to watch.
Any stories would be great. The only one of these matches that really has a story is technically Mariah May and Toni Storm, because she was the protege and she turned on her and whatever. Poorly told, but again, when you have two talent that are really good, sometimes they can try and mask some of that stuff. But that's it. I mean, MJF and Will Ospreay just had a couple matches.
And I'm looking at I'm looking at who we have here on their poster here.
Don't get me started on Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker.
Who on here?
Yikes!
I see probably 3 people. Who you trust cutting a good promo.
Why does the other buck with the red vest on look like he's a trucker who's off his shift?
Because he is off his shift. He sucks.
Fuck yeah, I just drove from Arkansas to Mississippi, bitch. Like, it's what he looks like.
I mean, Danielson, Toni Storm.
He doesn't do truckers justice.
Danielson, Toni Storm, MJF, Samoa Joe. I don't even know who's on the card. Okay, Christian Cage. He's on the tail end of that. They cut promos. I think Jay Wright, who's up there, he cut a promo.
Yeah.
By their standards, he cut a promo.
He's just not over.
Like, by their standards. And he should be over.
Let's be honest. There's only one person on that entire page that's cutting good promos consistently, and it's MJF. Let's be really fucking honest. Danielson's obviously went downhill. Swerve can't talk. Toni Storm is good, but not great. Mercedes definitely can't fucking talk. None of those other idiots. Okada, when he talks, he just says bitch, which, pop a laugh, and then everyone shuts up.
Yeah.
There's only one guy on that show that can talk. He should be Dusty Rhodes in this shit right now in NXT and just holding promo classes. And he should be ripping these people apart. Yeah. But then again, no one wants to listen to anybody. It's the Wild West.
At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. Yeah. So, as part of all this, the announcement goes down that
pick a smaller venue.
Well, look, baseball field, 40,000 capacity, in the middle of July.
Good. Move the
Are
fucking
you-
date so you're not fucking competing with SummerSlam in the same month, and you're also don't have All Out the next fucking week.
I wonder if that was strictly because they had to get, in order to get London, like that was the only dates that was available. I'll somewhat give them a pass for that.
No, fuck that, because they're having All Out literally a week or two later.
True.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like who has pay-per-views back-to-back weeks?
Are
We thought
you-
2 nights was a stretch. This is stupid.
Are you thinking about going to this?
Fuck no.
I mean, I'm sure you get a seat.
You've asked some pretty silly questions.
I'm sure you get a seat.
Yeah, I'll sit in the fucking lawn in the outfield
I mean, I'm sure it's only going to be a cool.
on a grassy knoll.
I'm sure it's only going to be a cool 98 degrees. Deep heart of Texas.
I have no fucking words.
I mean, I'm sure you're looking forward to the main event of next year's show.
MJF versus someone who doesn't deserve to be there. Probably. Maybe him and Ospreay will just have 45 matches in AEW, and that will be it.
To be honest, that might be their best line of booking of all time.
For Rapid Fire today, you're going to pull out an actual machine gun and just shoot me in the head. So there you go.
Fuck, I should have brought that prop. I don't even want to do Rapid Fire anymore just because, we're not even going to do Rapid Fire anymore. Because I'm mad at myself for not bringing that prop.
If you want to watch wrestling this weekend, do yourself a favor. Take Sunday and enjoy it. Don't get yourself frustrated. Go there Saturday night.
Yeah.
Watch real wrestling.
Yeah, watch some real cops. We had some action going down on our Instagram page.
We did.
We had some activity.
Richard Holliday talking shit.
Richard Holliday, my goodness.
Him and that mustache.
He posted, EC3. We have a cut of EC3 promoting the card, and Richard Holliday coming out. It's like this is his last interview as champion. Whoo!
Someone needs to tell Richard that he was on the radio this week.
Don't worry about that.
It's fine.
Don't worry about that. EC3 was on our show. The buck stops here. But no, check this show out. This is the main event of Journey 2, Excess Pro Wrestling. And the responses we've been getting as far as like covering local wrestling and, good wrestling and everything, it's been phenomenal. But you see the address there, or you see the information there at the bottom.
Just do yourself a favor. Just Google Tree Lawn Music Hall if
Mm-hmm.
you don't know where you're going, or put it in your Apple Maps or your Google Maps or whatever it is. Easy to find. Again, you can go to the website. I think it's exopro.com, I believe, and get your tickets. They're still available. I just bought mine a few days ago. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be there. So it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and the wrestling's great too. And it's fun too to see from that level the development, as EC3 was talking about, like just seeing some of the younger guys kind of elevate themselves, and when you go month to month, you see that story being told. But I thought Amanda brought up a good point. Whether it's your first show or your 10th show, when you go there, yes, it's ongoing stories, but you'll be able to catch on immediately, and it's a great time. And yeah, that mustache, yeah, you gonna hang out. Oh man, you gonna handle. But follow all of our pages. Our Instagram page at Side Hustle Podcast 216. There was some drama going on this past week, so you do not want to miss out.
Looked like Tom Selleck and Matt Damon had a baby. What?
B.A. Sweeties, of course, check him out.
He's a very handsome man. is
You're
all I'm
right.
saying.
You're right. But yeah, man.
Saying.
There's the address. Interstate 480, the Ridge Road exit. Make a left on Brook Park Road. See the giant lollipop. Get right there. To B.A. Sweeties. That is how you can follow us on social media. Of course, our full episodes plus highlights on YouTube. The TikTok as well, which is amazing. You'll see some great content. You see with Kyle had a great question on the EC3 interview last week about why a WWE run, why it did not work out.
He had 2, technically.
And I thought that was a great question. I thought EC3 had a really good answer, to that, be in the right place, right time, that kind of thing. The IG page and the YouTube, LPV Productions. That's a new handle, by the way. So LPV Productions on YouTube. You can see all of the programming there.
Yeah, the old handle just missing a few screws. So we had to take it out and put a new one in.
We really took off the numbers and the last letters there. We'll be here Friday.
We're gonna do this. All right.
For the national audience, we do high school football. So this is Cleveland only here.
Northeast Ohio high school football. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
beach.
I have to behave during this.
please do. Pete will kill you before I do. But we'll be there at Orange. 2 years ago, Orange actually had like a college game day style pregame for the first game,
and they got smacked.
Beechwood, and then I think it's interesting when you talk. I think with teams that may have not done as well, I think there's extra pressure with hosting as opposed to being on the road.
Well, both these teams last year was kind of considered a building year, so we'll see what happens with this season with both of them. There's still a lot of youth.
Mm-hmm.
There's some seniors sprinkled in here and there, but it's a lot of guys we're going to be seeing next year too that are making impacts and doing things. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a good start to the season.
Yeah, it's going to be great. That's the website to catch us, ChagrinValleyConference.com. Also on YouTube, search at Chagrin Valley Conference. And there's all of our programming here at the LPV Productions Network. That's our game of the week starting on Friday.
You just gave Pete a quarter chub. He's like, oh, tell him again.
And, of course, Voice of the Land, they had 2 guests on last night, so check them out. And that's when we're on every Thursday morning, brand new episodes of our weekly shows. And one of these days, we will do our Let's Fix It. We'll resume that with Austin Theory. Schedule's been busy, so we haven't been able to get to it.
We kind of figured August was going to be a busy month with SummerSlam and a lot of stuff going on. So we will get to that soon.
We will. But this has been the most watched August or the most watched month that we have had.
And we still have this episode.
Yeah. I mean, between EC3 and Amanda and then our SummerSlam coverage.
Yeah.
From the tailgate party to the watch-along. A lot of content and a lot of thanks to you for tuning in. So
we're just getting started. What? We ain't finished yet? Yeah.
We'll eventually get shirts. Eventually.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do merch. Just me saying, fuck.
That's not a bad idea.
Get an Aloha Mother Father shirt. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be nice. The end of the slideshow means our show's done.
And then he went to the black screen.
It's done. I'll leave you with this. If you search for our show on YouTube, search at Side Hustle Podcast 216. If you only type in Side Hustle, you will see a show from Roku that I watch called Side Hustlers. And the concept of Side Hustlers is if you win the show, your side hustle becomes your main hustle. And you have to leave your day job to do your side hustle.
One day.
And I say, one day, your dreams can come true too. Unless Jay Leno wants your job too. Good night.
Jesus Christ.